I always invite people to dare to dream about the day after tomorrow, about the future, and dare to dream about the perfect customer relationship. Don't worry about the operational stuff. Don't worry about the shit of yesterday, we sometimes call it. Just look ahead, dare to dream, and then reverse engineer it back and start building that future yourself. There's no need to wait for others to show you the way. You can actually create the next phase of customer experience. But to do that, you need to dream about perfection first, reverse engineer, and start building it yourself.
Hello and welcome to the Engati CX show. I'm your host, Jeremy D'Souza, and today we have a real customer experience genius with us. But before I let you know who our amazing guest is, allow me to quickly introduce you to the magic of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform available across 14 channels with 30,000 bots created across 186 countries in literally every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, the video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now, for our amazing guest. Steven van Belleghem is an expert in customer experience in the digital world. He's a popular speaker at home and abroad, and in his keynote presentations, he takes his audience on a journey to the world of modern customer relationships in a clever, enthusiastic, and inspiring way. Steven has delivered about 1,000 keynote speeches in more than 40 countries and is the author of 4 best-selling books. He's also an entrepreneur. Steven is a co-founder of the inspiration firm Nexxworks and also a co-founder of the content creation company Snack Bites. Steven, we're really thrilled to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm honored that you invited me. Thank you for that.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so before all of you get all this amazing information from Steven, we have a quick announcement for you. We've got something special for all of you. So stick around to the end of the interview and you'll find out. Steven, let's get started.
All right.
So my first question to you is, could you tell us something about your Nexxworks terminology, the day after tomorrow? What's that all about?
Yeah, at Nexxworks, we love to talk about the day after tomorrow. It's an expression that we use to motivate companies to look farther than just today and tomorrow, but look at the day after tomorrow. We have the feeling that, in a perfect world, companies should invest like 70% of their energy to today, because you have, the today's business is bringing the revenues, the money, it keeps the process going. You need about 20% in tomorrow and 10% in the day after tomorrow. And we believe that that investment in the day after tomorrow is the investment that you need to make sure that in the long run, you create new value, new monetary revenues for your organization. But yeah, the challenge is for organizations to make the resources available to do that, and not just to stuck into the operational details of your day-to-day company worries and problems that you have.
Yeah. So essentially, if you don't do that, you're just going to get stuck in a rut. You're never going to grow, right?
Yeah, well, that's right. There are 2 ways to innovate. You can look at what you have today and then incrementally improve that step by step with just minor little steps, and that's cool. But we also like to challenge people to look further ahead and to make sure you stay ahead of the curve. And the best possible moment to invest in the day after tomorrow is at the moment that everything is going well in your organization. When you are creating a lot of money and when you are doing good business, that's the perfect moment to create new opportunities. The problem is that many organizations wait until there's an urgency, when things are declining, when the market pressure is higher. And at that moment, we see in research that it's often too late to really get ready for the future. So it's really important to start early enough in the process with your innovation.
Yeah, literally the art of war. In times of peace, prepare for war. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You see it basically now, Jeremiah, sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah, sure.
we had COVID-19 and it created the digital sprint. I sometimes call it the biggest digital training course the world has ever seen. We were forced to go to digital for our jobs, entertainment, for commerce, for everything. And we saw such an increase that you have a much broader usage right now. And you see companies that were very well prepared to invest in the last few years in digital, and they are sprinting together with the customers. The others that weren't ready for this, those are the ones that are suffering today.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question to you. How important is it to focus on employee experience, rather than just solely focusing on your customers?
It's a very good point. I often give presentations about customer experience and so on, and then sometimes someone asks me, yeah, but what about Amazon.com? We hear all these stories that it's not a nice place to work, but their customers are happy. I mean, do you have to choose between one and another? Obviously not. There's a lot of research, and what you see is that happy customers doesn't mean that you're going to have happy employees, but there's another correlation that does work, and that's when you have happy employees, there's an almost certainty that you will create happy customers. So happy employees are the core ingredient, basically, the investment in your customer relationship. It is the beginning point. You cannot expect your customers to be happy if your employees are unhappy. It starts with them. Absolutely. I fully agree with that.
Yeah, and I also think that if you do go along the Amazon model of exploiting your employees just to get a lot of happiness out of your customers, you'll probably have to deal with a lot of churn, which would impact your bottom line, right?
Well, I think one of the challenges is to get enough talent to keep them on board.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so difficult these days to find the right people.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it's crucial to make sure that they stay on board. And basically what the cool thing is that if you look to customer expectations, what do people expect? They expect convenience in their life. They expect emotional support when it's necessary, and they expect companies to add value to society. That's basically what a customer expects these days. Well, it's the same for employees. If they work in an organization, they want to put their energy in their job and not in all kind of difficult internal processes and administration. Just make their life fast, easy, and fun.
Yeah.
Support them emotionally by guiding them through their careers, and make sure you have a story that goes beyond making money. Make sure you have a story that is actually helping society for the better. And that's what people want, that combination. And I think that's so valuable to invest in that.
Yeah, perfectly true. So you did mention that you need to make their life easier and get rid of all those mechanical, monotonous tasks which they have to do all the time, so that they can actually concentrate on work that matters. Um, so what do you think about conversational AI as a tool for customer service?
I think it has a lot of potential. If you look at customer service, for many companies, like 80% of the questions are always the same, repetitive, easy to answer questions. And typically those kind of questions, I think we should do whatever we can to automate the replies, because it's going to be faster for the customer and it's going to be less boring for the employee. And what happens is the more emotional related questions, the more complex questions can then be answered by humans. Their job becomes more important, more valuable, more fun to do. And for customers, there's something emotional in your life, you don't want to talk to a machine, you want to talk to a human. But in 80% of the cases, I mean, your question is just so simple and straightforward that you just want to have a quick, correct answer. And for those cases, in that world, a automated service is fantastic.
Yeah, so you use automation as a first point of contact for your customers, and only if it's something complicated or emotional, as you said, then you actually send it off to a human.
Yeah.
And then your customers are happier and your employees are less frustrated too.
Right. Yeah, I fully agree.
So other than just with customer service, how do you think AI, tech, and automation are crucial tools for innovation in general, and how they come together to actually make an organization successful?
Well, sometimes I get the questions like, Stephen, in which technologies do we need to invest? To be honest, Jeremy, I think it's the wrong question to start with. I think it's about customers and asking yourself the question, what customer benefits should we create? What kind of value can we create for customers? And then let the technology be an enabler.
Yeah.
But then if you think about AI, what it could do, I usually work with 3 customer benefits to make it tangible. First one is faster and real time. How can we anticipate two problems? This is something that AI can do pretty well in certain circumstances. It looks to the behavior of the past to predict the future. So you can anticipate, you can become faster and real time. It's about hyper-personalization. Again, something AI can fantastically do because they know you from the past, and the power to personalize is increasing every single day. And then you have a high level of convenience where they just show you the stuff that you need, make it one-click orders, voice commands. Maybe a voice command is even easier than a click on a keyboard or on a screen. So it has the potential to make it more convenient than in the past. And I believe these three benefits, faster and real-time, hyper-personalization, high level of convenience, that those are three customer benefits that make a lot of sense to invest in when you look at artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so you look at these benefits and you try to look at the technology afterwards. You start with the benefits and then you say, okay, this
Yeah,
technology could get me this. And you don't
exactly.
start by saying, this is the technology and let's see what I can get out of the technology.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's my full belief that that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of companies are looking at a new piece of tech as like this shiny new
Yeah.
amazing golden nugget in their hands, and they're like, oh, let me see how I can extract something from this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And then you just jump onto the hype, and then sometimes you're disappointed that customers don't use it. But if you
Mhm.
make the analysis, often it's not offering enough value. It's just something cool to do as a marketing manager or an ICT person,
Yeah.
but you need the value for the customer.
Hmm. So you got to start from the customer's point of view. What's going to drive value for them? Hmm. Okay, Stephen, are there any
Yeah.
other thoughts that you'd like to leave the audience with?
I always invite people to dare to dream about the day after tomorrow, about the future, and dare to dream about the perfect customer relationship. Don't worry about the operational stuff. Don't worry about the shit of yesterday, we sometimes call it. Just look ahead, dare to dream, and then reverse engineer it back and start building that future yourself. There's no need to wait for others to show you the way. You can actually create the next phase of customer experience. But to do that, you need to dream about perfection first, reverse engineer, and start building it yourself.
Hmm.
That would be
Yeah,
my final thought, if that's okay with you.
that's an amazing final thought. It's perfect because you're telling people not to stay stuck. The things you did in the past are not the things that are going to take you ahead in the future. You have to
Yeah,
keep evolving.
yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us your time, your energy, and your insights. They were really valuable, Stephen, and I know that the audience is definitely going to love this interview.
Cool. It's a
Where
real
can they?
pleasure. It was a real pleasure to be here. I'm honored that you invited me, and I wish you all the best with everything you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. Where can the audience reach out to you?
I share a lot of content on YouTube. Just my name, youtube.com/Steven van Belleghem. I'm on Instagram with a lot of content, and also on LinkedIn, Twitter. But I think the coolest content I share is Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Yeah, those three channels.
Okay, guys, you really have to reach out to him over there. His content is brilliant. Trust me.
Thank you.
Okay. And since you've all stuck around for so long, here's your free gift. We're excited to announce that our ebook, The Evolution of Customer Experience, is out and it's available for you to download, as I said, completely for free. So check the link in the description and you'll get it. Engati CX will definitely be back with a new episode and a new expert very soon. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see you around for the next one.